Had to load this up another time. We're going somewhere with it today. If you want a PYO feed, you're getting blessed again with another Falling in the Forest. I know the energy is a little different. Some of y'all finna cut this shit off right now. Y'all heard that last shit. Y'all like, no, not doing that. But some niggas is. For real niggas. Niggas a unisex term, of course. Nigga can mean anything. We know that. I got white niggas. I got Hispanic niggas. I got Indian niggas. You understand what I'm saying? Like, just the flexibility of the word nigga is insane. It really is. It really is. And I'm not going to go too deep into it because I know that we have all resolved to keep that kind of away from white people. But it really can mean anything. Matter of fact, I'll tell you a story from back in my salesman days. Because I was a sleazy salesman. Actually, I wasn't sleazy. And so I didn't really make a great salesman. Not saying you gotta be sleazy to be a great salesman. But if you're not gonna be sleazy, you gotta be real good at it. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta be a little seasoned. Seasoning helps with that. Like, I guess some of you motherfuckers might be born to sell. Because every time you say that something don't come easily, the motherfucker to whom it comes easily is in the background talking shit. Shut the fuck up, nigga. I'm not trying to hear none of that. Take that shit somewhere else, pussy. We don't give a fuck what you're good at. We're not here to discuss you. And we're not here to discuss me. We're here to discuss what this fucking lady said while we was looking at fridges, right? Because I was a home appliance and electronics salesman, nigga. That's what I did. All the time. And let me tell you something. I worked at Smart Tech. That's what that was, nigga. Like, being a fucking electronic and home appliance salesman, you know what I mean? It really makes the movie 40-Year-Old Virgin. It just makes so much fucking sense. That's really what's going on, right? So this lady comes in, right? And she's like old, like she's an elderly person. And she said, her fridge conked out on her. She come in, she said, yeah, I just wake up and my fucking fridge gonna acting like a nigga. I said, whoa. I like that. I said, sick lingo, Granny. Can you say that again? I didn't say that, but she said that shit again. You know what I mean? So we talking later throughout the conversation, and there she go again. She said, these things, you know what I mean? You put in a lot of time, and they go to acting like niggas. I said, yo, they do. Fuck you talking about? Stove was working forever. And it started acting like a nigga on me. I know what you mean, mamas. I understood her in that moment, you know what I'm saying? And it's just shit like that. This is why you gotta get able to be next to elders and people from different cultures than you. Because I'm a New York City nigga, and I am sure. That's the most Southern expression I've ever heard in my goddamn life. But you know what I'm saying? You gotta get around older people just so you could get some of these gems. That wouldn't be in my lexicon, nigga. That wouldn't be in my lexicon. I would have never said that. Off top of dome, my rap not even that real, cuz. That shit was crazy. And that's why, I don't know why that's how we opened up, but fuck it. We gotta keep it moving. Listen to me. Being that we in No Nut November, I'ma just say this. First of all, is No Nut November a single man's game? Now that I think about it, I feel like you kinda, if you got a girlfriend, don't you gotta run No Nut November by her? Or does No Nut November simply mean you will not commit to any self-induced nuts? Self-induced nuttery is important, so it becomes like a what are we doing here type of situation. I'm not 100%. No, fuck that. Niggas be talking about a lot of this semen retention. Listen to me, dog. We not retaining no semen. I'm not retaining any of it. I'm letting it all go. It's all over everything. I don't know what we're gonna do. I don't have a cleaning lady. Someone's gonna have to clean up all this jizz. I'm just trying to tell you niggas, like, No Nut November is cool and all, but you gonna just be fucked up. You all backed up. You gonna start getting swole. Your feet gonna swell up like you pregnant or something, nigga. That's really not what you want. But I know niggas that swear by semen retention, like for real. Like they really think that it induces like some fucking primal thing within them and makes them stronger. And I ain't gonna lie, The Lord say be fruitful and multiply, didn't he? So I don't even understand. If you understand multiplication, that give you more. I don't know how something that's supposed to make more can be can make you weaker, because that's supposed to just get you, like, you know what I'm saying? If that's like, Also, I feel like warm-blooded mammals, because that's the thing, like, I understand the human inclination towards, like, spirituality, right? But we always go in a direction. Pardon me, I gotta take a shot of some cognac. That's gonna come across as some heathen shit on the mic. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand the spiritual aspect where, like, we really do, get into these, like, mindsets where, and you really can activate some sort of your psyche, some part of your fucking brain, and really, like, amazing things are capable when through the power of belief in some fucking placebo effect shit. I'm not qualified to talk about this, but so I understand, like, why people feel like, oh, like, I don't, like, you know what I mean? It's like fighters say they don't want to get weak legs. Listen, man, I feel you, but I'm just saying, like, as far as, like, on the whole, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, out and out, far and away, like, you know what I mean? On the buy and buy type shit, my nigga, I'm not retaining any of my semen. Are you crazy? I'm gonna keep letting them off. I'm gonna keep doing that, bro. It's really, are you crazy? Let's talk about it, bro. For real. Like, are you crazy? That's why I say it's a single man's game. I don't think you could get that off if you didn't run that by your lady. If anything, like, that's kind of fucked up. Like, what if your girl just was like, I'm on a no dick November type? I mean, I'm feeling no dick November-y. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, maybe no dick February, like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, give us a shorter month, you know what I'm saying? But then again, you can't do a nigga like that during Black History Month unless he like a white nigga or something. So I don't know, man. Like, I'm just saying, like, I'm not holding on to none of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm really on my frozen shit. Let it go. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna let all this snow go. You know what I'm saying? We snow blowing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. You niggas really fucking scuff my Timbs. I don't understand why people always go against the grain the way they do. Like, they always pick something that ain't got nothing to do with nothing to go. What happened to No Shave November? What happened to that? What does my nut gotta do with you? Why do we have to band together and no nuthood? That shit just confuses me. The whole shit is a fucking joke. I know that. I'm riffing. I think I'm funny. I think I'm fucking funny. Yeah, that's what this is. You're listening to a sad guy. You're listening to a sad guy by himself. This is young man screams at a cloud. Where have you been? This is what we doing. I'm not gonna lie, like, I really did consider naming this podcast that, but somebody had, like, already had it because it's fucking genius. I didn't say I was a genius, because I am not. I'm just saying that name was lit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry. It was a nice little flip. It was the obvious flip. It was low-hanging fruit. And therefore, it had already been picked. You know what I'm saying? But life been lifing. Life and way too hard to be out here retaining semen. You know what I'm saying? You niggas do what you need to do to stay strong. You know what I'm saying? I'ma just get closer to the Lord and bust wild nuts. I feel like that's an oxymoronic statement. I don't know if the two things can even go together. Perhaps they are juxtaposed, one might say. I'm getting more and more inebriated as we go on, because the topic list here is just different. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you something. If you one of my PYO niggas, you gotta understand, like, this is like a mixture of the fucking topic list that we kind of would do on the PYO and, like, the Fallen in the Forest. And if you one of my Fallen in the Forest niggas that probably don't know about PYO, listen, my nigga, like, just bear with me here, because I do a group podcast with my niggas. I just ain't been able to get next to niggas in like a week or two. So, you know what I mean? I've been giving them the Fallen in the Forest feed, my nigga. Just, you know what I mean? Throw that shit out there, you know what I'm saying? Listen, we ain't paying for hours to record for nothing, my nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? This shit gotta get used. Well, it's cold product, cuz. That's just the way this shit work. Moving on, though. What is this? There is an obsession in the, I guess, American psyche, right? With redefining sexual acts if they take place with men or with women, or if women are committing the act versus if men are committing the act, even the number of sexual partners, right? When you start talking about threesomes versus trains, boom, that already just separated, right? Somebody is like, there's no fucking difference, and fuck you for saying threesomes versus trains. And somebody's like, no, yeah, let's talk about it. There's a difference. And that's them really be the easy topics to talk about, because that's a third rail, and niggas gonna think I'm on a side. And let me tell you something, I am on a side, but it might shock you what side I'm on. This is why you have to listen to niggas, and it might not shock you if you listen to the other episodes, because you probably understand the type of nigga I am. You the dig? I'm saying, first of all, in my humble opinion, a threesome is a sexual encounter between three individuals. Could be three men, could be three women, could be two women and one man, could be two men and one woman, could be two and a possible. I don't know what the fuck we talking about, but if it's three people involved in a sexual act, I think it can be considered a threesome. Now, that's more of a divisive thing to say than most people, right? Because then most people would think, perhaps. Because a motherfucker will go, okay, I see your point, and perhaps, but there's just something different about two guys and allowing that. And this is where I think you motherfuckers will end up in some precarious, precocious situations each and every time. You fucking up, nigga. Let me rap to you real quick. If your, first of all, two things will happen. If your worldview regarding women is through this lens, especially sexually, is through this lens of them having to be more pure and righteous than you, number one, you will never actually get to know the women in your life. Like, there will be several women in your life that you consider close to you that you will really not know. Because you simply do not create a safe space for them to be themselves around you. Right? But number two, you're going to have a real hard time navigating the world, because everybody's outside, baby. That's just how this works. And on top of that, you can't, there's no, like, I'm not here for the whole, there's a difference between, oh, there's a lock that opens every door is a master lock, but a door that can be opened by any key. I don't think these analogies match. I fucked it up. Still, you know what I'm saying? The lock and key thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, man. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit, man. We are monkeys. Unless you're listening to this podcast and you're religious, because then I'm pussy and I don't want to offend you. Right? So you're not a monkey if you don't want to be a monkey. But I'm sorry, we monkeys. And I see now apes. Right? Because somebody somewhere. I have voices in my head, and these be the somebody somewhere, right? But like, somebody somewhere is like, not monkeys. Fuck you. Fuck you. I said monkeys. And I'm black, so it can't be offensive in any context. I can call people monkeys if I want. That's what I could do. That's what I could do. I ain't gonna lie, I love being black. I love being black because you gotta be responsible and delicate with your blackness. You really do. Like, you really gotta be responsible with your black ass, for real. This is reality. This is life, right? Like, you gotta be disciplined in your negrosity. It's a skill that's honed. Some people are just naturals at it. They got it naturally. It flows. But it's like a controlled flowing movement, nigga. Like, you really gotta get a grasp of what's going on. Like, the way you operate within your niggerdom is extremely important. And I feel honored to have niggerdom to express. You understand what I'm saying? But then again, I feel like anybody would feel this way about their cultural identity, right? Because it's yours. It's something that speaks to you in a deeper language. Like, culture is language. Like, right? At a deeper level is what I meant to say. But culture is language, right? Like, it's really a way to communicate without even, I guess, words having to be said, right? Or even just the way those words are said will communicate something. So there's something to be said for that. How did we get here from trains versus threesomes? Yeah, but I just want to see us get to a freer world, man. I just want to see us get to a world where nobody has to be judged for anything. You know what I'm saying? And also, like, you can't just be out. First of all, so many men are living their lives just waiting to be hurt by learning the truth about a woman that they claim to love, which is crazy, right? We're like not wanting to know the truth about somebody that you love. That says something about where your love is at, dog. That's conditional, baby. And listen, I'm all for conditional love. Straight like that. I think we could all benefit from making our love a little bit more conditional. So, but you gotta have unconditional love in your life. You do, because unconditional love don't mean that you're gonna be that your boundaries will constantly be violated, because like that's the idea of unconditional, right? Like when people say, "Oh, well, it's gotta be unconditional," I mean, like you can't do anything that would sever your bond with that person. But like, no, that's not what unconditional love is. But I think that I understand if we just go by the word. Okay, well, you said unconditional. How can there be conditionals? Fuck you. That's how. But you need unconditional love, right? It's very important. And I would hope, and although I don't think everybody requires this, Leak is not the relationship police. He's not qualified to be. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, for me, I would want my life partner to be somebody who we could speak candidly, like, about our experiences in our life, right? Like, and I haven't always been there. You gotta build before you can get to that point. You gotta go through some ups, some downs. You gotta feel some pain. I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if the streets could feel my pain. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all niggas really understand what I've been through in these streets. Not much. Not much. I don't want to make y'all feel like I done did worse than I done, or that, like, you know what I mean, crazy all time shit has happened to me. But at the same time, like, you gotta get out here, get some skin in the game. You be hurt, but you learn things, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes I wonder if it conveys in the way that I speak, like some of the shit that that has affected me emotionally, right? I don't know. Again, I don't seem to be able to get to this topic. We about to have to mosey on, because I don't think I obviously, clearly, a nigga don't have much to say about this, because I keep going everywhere else. So let's talk. So I know I probably talked to y'all about the fact that, like, you know, when he got a second job, which is, like, you know, not wild. Like, we're not gonna sound applause or nothing for getting a second job. You know what I'm saying? I needed a second job, so I got a second job. But it's kind of it's physically demanding in a way, and the hours are really late, and that's fine. I don't mind it. It's something that I asked for. It's kind of the job that I kind of wanted to take on, so whatever. But I don't have any days off, and I didn't think that through. Between my two jobs, I don't actually have any days off. So, and one of my jobs is probably open on holidays, so if those holidays fall on my work schedule, I'm probably expected to work. Alright, probably. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, I definitely be feeling that, like, my body, because it's tough. It's tough. And free time is limited. And I don't know what to do about that. I don't know how to fix that. I think for the foreseeable future, there's no way to fix that. And again, this is the point of getting two jobs. Like, you don't necessarily want to be working a schedule like this for, like, your whole life, like, or like fucking 5 years. But at the same time, a motherfucker need money, and nigga wasn't making enough money for all the free time I had. So I was like, I want to get some of that up, figure something out. But I do think I'm finna die. Like, this shit hell. This shit hell on a nigga for real. Like, I don't know. And, like, you know, like, a chick I used to date at one point, she worked 3 fucking jobs, bro. Like, and it was just like, what? And she found time for, like, everything else she wanted to do in between. Like, but she was a very, very, very responsible person. Like, she was incredibly put together in that way. Like, right? Like, she was mature from a very young age, and it carried well into adulthood. But like, I say all that to say, it's not like I ain't been around people who work multiple jobs and like seen it done. But again, one of my jobs is like pretty physically demanding, and it's just like, going to the gym, doing this, doing that, like trying to do this, like, can I do this? I don't know. I feel like I'm balancing shit right though, because I'm not burning out yet. And it's been like a month or two. Like it's going on 2 months since I've been like doing like all the things I'm doing at the same time, including like trying to record the podcast. Like I'll have a moment of real honesty with you. Like it's hard trying to do everything, and the podcast is like a labor of love. Like I'm just like I don't record this because I'm hoping that it blows up or that I become like somebody of note. If that's not what's going on here, I record this for my sanity, right? Because I'm just a person who always enjoyed creating, and I was making music before I was doing this, and I've always like been a writer, and I've always just been kind of a creative person, and those outlets are good, I think. So I try to create them for myself where I can. But it's tough to juggle a podcast schedule when you're working all the time and when you're tired. So, right, just to be like transparent, like perhaps that's like some of what's going on and why like these 2 weeks you guys who were expecting PYO content have been getting this content, right? So it's like it's an intense situation, and Biggs has 2 jobs as well, right? So it's Prado, who y'all also hear on the podcast all the time, has 2 jobs. Like it's like we all are just trying to work as hard as we can. So when we do get a chance to all get in the same room and do this, not all get in the same room, Prado live in Florida, but when we do get a chance to do this, it really is something that is like a blessing in my eyes for us, because it's a moment to commune, it's a moment to bond. Niggas listening and it's like, yo, this nigga's soft. Like, yeah, I am. I'm really into being able to do things together with my people, because at the end of the day, one day we're not gonna be here no more. And one day later than that, they'll stop telling our stories. They'll stop talking about us. We'll be generations removed. People won't think about us. And a lot longer after that, the very idea of what you might have been won't even exist. So, people all we got at the end of the day. You have more things. Don't be a dick. But I'm just saying, right? Like, people are all we have. And we are social animals, right? I don't like, right? Like, I don't like most of the people I encounter. Like, on a fundamental level, I don't necessarily have an affinity personally for most of the people I encounter, but I do have an affinity for people, right? Like when I'm out, it's because I want to be out around people, watching people have fun and having fun. Like I do not deny the importance, I think, of that social energy, but you got to know when to like pull back and recharge too. Like me personally, I've been big on recharging. Like I've had to try to learn how to navigate how I really do like to decompress and like fall away from the world and just do other shit and like not pay attention to my phone and not do none of that. Right? So like it all just becomes this whole own thing. But I think shit has been really tough for me personally, and not because of the stuff, more so because I haven't always been in the best mental state recently. I think that I'm probably in the best mental shape I've been in a long time though. Right? It's just navigating, like you'll always have battles. You'll always have battles, and some of them will be harder than others, right? And so like navigating that can be honestly really painful, but you still have to do it. You still have to manage things. You still have to work hard. You still owe things to yourself, right? Like, so for me, it's just a personal battle, like trying to like let myself know that like I can accomplish things and I can do things and like it's okay. Like I think I used to have a fear of failure. I think a lot of people got a fear of failure, and I think like it's just something that you gotta get over, right? Like everybody knows that, right? Like you should have a healthy anxiety, I guess, about not doing your best. But I think if you try hard, failure really is a lesson. So I just been trying to trust myself more. Just be like, hard on yourself without being like a harsh critic, but also like giving yourself grace without like being up your own ass. It's a tightrope. It's a tightrope, but goddamn if a nigga don't walk. Sometimes like the identity of being a straight male is so restrictive, my nigga. And I'm probably not about to go as crazy a place as this as you think. Cause that was a wild ass fucking intro. But like, I don't know. I just feel like you can't describe yourself in certain ways. Like sometimes, like, you know what I'm saying? Like when I got my hair up and shit like that, like I feel like a pretty bitch, nigga. Like I feel like that's something that I should be able to be. Like niggas don't let me, but there's no space for that, right? Because that's just not something that straight males say about themselves. And I know somebody is like, oh, let the girlies have something. Okay. No, I'm a pretty bitch. It's just what it is, my nigga. All my niggas pretty bitches too, nigga. That's just what it is, nigga. Like, and if they don't feel that way about themselves, that's cool, cause I feel that for them, my nigga. Like, I want that joy for them, nigga, to understand that sometimes they can walk outside and be like, listen, I'm the prize, I'm a catch, nigga. Like, yeah, that's me. That's just me, bro. Look, it ain't gotta be you. It ain't gotta be you, nigga, cause you probably not me and I'm not you. I don't think that's an indictment on you, brother. I don't think that's an indictment on me. You just probably not me and I'm just probably not you. It's a beautiful thing, individuality. You know what I'm saying? And for me, that's just me. And somebody somewhere is like, you are saying that there's a pretty bitch living inside you. I don't know if you're a straight male. And that's hilarious. But fuck out of here, nigga. Fuck out of here, bitch ass nigga. I'm funny. No, I'm not. But at the same time, these are the things that go through my mind. Like sometimes I wonder, like, is it like a lot of niggas won't do extra shit with their hair, and I'm just like, why not? Right? Like, soon as like I don't know if my dread's long enough now, but as soon as my dreads get long enough to do extra shit with, I'll be doing extra shit with them, nigga. Like, I'm sorry, like. Especially, like, I go to work, like, in between retwists, like, my nigga, if I want to throw my shit up in a ponytail or a double ponytail, that's happening, and that's not extreme. You know what I'm saying? But even, like, if I'm going out and I want to put them shits to the side, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just is what it is, nigga. Like, it's gonna happen. Like, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want with my hair. I might throw some Bantu knots in that shit, nigga. What you gonna say, though? When my shit's laid, like, what you gonna say when my shit's laid, cuz? Like, what you really gonna say? Probably not much. You gonna be like, that nigga wildin'. Or maybe you gonna be like, oh, that's hard. I fuck with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, nigga, but I just feel like sometimes the straight male identity is hella restrictive, bro. Like, that shit hella restrictive where it's like, damn, bro. Like, I can't drink hot toddies, bro. That's what you saying, bro? Like, real niggas don't drink hot toddies? I might not be a real nigga, bro. Like, I'm sorry. It's just so much shit that niggas can't do or that's weird if a nigga do. Like, I don't understand, nigga. Like, so I can't smell flowers, nigga? I can't be vulnerable, nigga. I can't be nurturing. That's crazy, nigga, that you won't let me do those things, nigga. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? That's what I be saying. That's all. I'm sorry. If you think I'm wilding out, then just say that. But I don't know. I got theories about the world and the way people work, my boy. I really do. And I just feel like don't restrict my character. Don't take certain aspects and qualities and ascribe them to women or men. Don't do that. Why I can't be emotionally intelligent? Why I can't be sensitive? Why something can't hurt my feelings though? These the questions I be asking. And this is why I gotta talk to myself for 45 minutes because nobody wants to talk to me. Nobody wants to talk to me. I can understand that. I can understand that. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like I'm at a point in my life and my development where things are really changing. Especially kind of like my default mode of being, like my personality. I'm turning into a cold motherfucker, and I ain't gonna lie, I kind of like it. I kind of like it. Like I think I suffered for really most of my life from just being too nice, from caring too much what people think, from tolerating a lot. Like I feel like I said on an earlier podcast that you really wouldn't believe the type of shit that people come to me with, that people feel like that people will say to me, right? Like I feel like a big part of the reason that I endure so much disrespect, and even if it's not like disrespect, like I really do think I have these issues with, well, not have right now, but I would have these issues with just not being comfortable being disliked. Now I ain't gonna lie. I am so comfortable with you niggas not liking me. Like, honestly, I used to be so concerned about the opinions of niggas I don't even respect. Like, I used to really lose sleep. Like, damn, these people don't like me, I don't know why. Or, like, say you got a girl, shit not going right, and her friends don't like you, and you don't even like them motherfuckers. You don't respect them motherfuckers. You don't like them motherfuckers. The way they get down disgusts you, right? And vice versa. The way you get down disgusts them. But I feel like I just wouldn't be able to play my role right and just deliver the right amount of hate, the right amount of vitriol. You know what I'm saying? Now, like I'm at least 45% vitriol. You know what I'm saying? It's been hard to get there, but I think I think one of my real concerns is being an empathetic person. Right? Like, I like that quality about myself. I'm always going to be empathetic, right? But the nice time of my life is kind of over, right? Especially, like, even with, like, friends and acquaintances that like to duck in and out of your life and shit like that. That shit cool sometimes. But honestly, I feel like if you have to ask yourself if I fuck with you, I don't. Never will. I want to say never have, but I probably did fuck with you. But I feel like at this point in my life, if you gotta ask yourself if I fuck with you, chances are I probably don't. It's nothing personal and shit like that. It's just, if we don't speak, we probably don't speak for a reason. Even if that reason is we don't like each other as much as we want each other to believe. Right? But that shit is important. And I'll be real about this mode of operating. It's not fulfilling for me. Right? It's fulfilling in the sense that when you start doing something that you haven't done, there's like a cathartic effect, right? Like when somebody doesn't get a chance to hurt my feelings, or when somebody doesn't get a chance to take advantage of me because I stood my ground and because I didn't play nice, that feels good. Because you know every time that shit would have worked in the past, or you know every time that you played yourself and made yourself really, really, really unhappy for the service of somebody else, made yourself small so that somebody else could feel big. Like, how many times have people like us done that? Right? How many times have you willingly bashed yourself? And like, so listen, sometimes you deserve it. Sometimes you are simply being self-critical. Sometimes you're simply being honest and taking a good look at yourself, and simply articulating what is clearly there for everybody to see. Right? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about times when there's more that you require from your personal relationships, and you're not getting it, and you won't say anything, or even worse, you'll make yourself out to be problematic, or you'll make yourself out to be pussy for even asking for these things. Right? You'll apologize for needing to be watered. I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit. And people don't respect that shit. Like, I'll be 110% honest with you. Like, people will take that shit because, like, it makes them feel good, but people don't respect that shit, bro. Nobody respects the hyper nice person, right? It's just like, it's cool to be around them. They're gonna say nice shit about you when you die. But like at the end of the day, people don't really fucking respect that person because people know that they can disrespect that person and the consequences will be relatively minimal, right? All will be forgiven. Or even like, in public. Like I live in New York City. I'm assuming that most of the people listening to this also live in New York City, but I live in New York City, bro. Being nice is a damn near health hazard, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know how many homeless people walk up to me a day? You know how many people walk up to me? And I don't mean like just regular homeless people. Like I mean like scary New York train people who will fuck you up. You know what I'm saying? Will fuck you up or do something wild or just want to touch you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how many of them talk to me in a day? A lot. You know why? Because I'm nice and they can tell. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm working on my little, you know what I'm saying? I'm working on my little resting bitch face, you know what I'm saying? I'm working on getting my shit real right. Really just being a scary nigga walking around this motherfucker like, but I don't know, I just feel like my natural disposition is just is kind of, it's kindness, right? And again, I don't want to be that guy that's like, oh, homeless people are walking up to me and touching me. I hate that. No, like, no, that's not what I'm saying. But I am just saying that when you are too nice to assert yourself or respect yourself, it seeps into everything that you do. People can tell, right? It comes forth in your disposition. It comes forth in your countenance, and it's something that I personally have to watch out for. I think we all got our own personal battles. We all got the things that we're really good at and the things that we need to work on. And for me, like, that's kind of it, right? Like I have to be more assertive. I have to stop allowing myself to be taken advantage of. I have to stop saying things are okay when they're not, right? I have to stop being so nice to people all the time, inviting people into my space when I don't really want them there. Even that shit feels mean. Like saying that you don't want somebody in your space, that shit feels kind of fucked up to say to me. But at the same time, it don't feel fucked up not to want. Like not to want a motherfucker in your space, that feels just right. But, c'est la vie. C'est la vie. And now we're going to talk about something that I had to save to the end because I know most of y'all motherfuckers won't want to talk about this shit with me, but fuck it. It's my life, nigga. So, I've recently recommitted myself to manga. If you don't know what manga is basically, like, it's the equivalent of a Japanese comic book. Somebody's gonna be so mad that I said that, but go fuck yourself. Come on, we're talking in layman's terms, just speaking facts. Right? Manga is essentially Japanese comic book, generally published, like, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever, in chapter form. And a lot of the time, it'll be the source material for a lot of your favorite, like, anime, right? That's just like a rough definition of it, and I think that kind of works, right? Like, Dragon Ball stems from manga. Attack on Titan has a manga. Pretty much in anything you could think of, things you grew up on, Dragon Ball and Yasha, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's Naruto, such as how this works, right? And everybody knows that, right? But maybe there's somebody listening that doesn't. So I've recommitted myself to reading manga. I mean, reading in general, but that's never really been an issue for me. I think when I was a child, I was really, really into the idea of like owning everything I read because it just made me feel good. There was no real reason for it. It was very arbitrary. And it definitely limited my ability to consume things that I liked and read. But with manga especially, it was just like trying to buy every manga that you want to read is just out of pocket. It's out of fucking pocket. Out of pocket. Like, if you're not like a fucking a YouTuber or somebody like making money talking about this shit, like, it's not even feasible. It's not even feasible unless you're just a collector, in which case, like, you'll collect at your own pace and it'll be feasible for you the way it's feasible for you. But we do live in a subscription era and a subscription and streaming based era, and so a young nigga has made a Shonen Jump account. And there's other manga platforms for manga that's not published by Shonen Jump, but for right now, nigga made a Shonen Jump account, and nigga made a Crunchyroll account, you know what I'm saying? And we gonna catch up on the series that I want to catch up on, and I told myself I was gonna be abreast of, that I just haven't, like, consumed the material the way I need to, or even rereading certain things, right? Like, I'm rereading Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, and getting a chance to read chapters in Super that I haven't read before. And I will say, one of my favorite parts about consuming that type of media is being that it's published and shown to the world, say like on a weekly or a monthly basis, chapter-wise. It allows you to perceive some aspects of the creative process and of writing that you generally would not see the way that we in North America tend to publish books in our stories. And I would say, like, even comic books and stuff like that. Like, I think sometimes you'll see, like, changes come to the story and stuff like that. But for the most part, the story is ironed out, and it's just, at this point, being told. But something that we've seen with particularly Dragon Ball, right, that it just makes it more interesting and just lends itself to more, like, you know, food for thought. Stuff that you can think about and decide and debate with your friends. That story changed so radically. And I think that it has so become a part of the public consciousness, the way that Dragon Ball Z and everything like that and Dragon Ball has ended up, that a lot of the times we forget that when you read, like, Dragon Ball from the beginning, it is so clearly a parody of Journey to the West. Like, it's a Journey to the West gag manga, right? Like, it is chock full of humor, chock full of jokes. There is fighting, there's kung fu principles and stuff like that. Like, that still is kind of at the center and the forefront. But, like, Goku is not in any way this, like, super powered alien, right? Like, whereas, like, he's not, like, none of that. The concept of a Saiyan and everything that we so identify with the series today. No, like, he's a fucking, like, he's a monkey god, right? Like, he's based on some Wukong, and the story has, like, so many nods to it, right? Like, like the power pole, him having a tail, right? Like, that's what that was originally. It was just like he was essentially a monkey, right? Like, and him having a tail and being super strong, and, like, Bulma Bulma sees him and shoots him. Like, he picks up Bulma's car and throws it, and then she fucking shoots him in the face, and he's fine. Right? Like, at one point, like, these are gags, right? Like, they're not, some of them aren't really made to be taken so seriously, but, like, at the same time, like, for training, like, he picks up a fucking rock and squeezes it until it explodes. Like, and these are the things. These are the things, and it's amazing to me how other media impacts the media that you're consuming, and everybody's bouncing ideas off each other and things like that, as they should. And then you get to a point where by the end of, because there's no difference between Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z in Japan, I think. I think it's kind of one, right? But if we're to go by Western terms and what we know to be the case, when you get to Dragon Ball Z, it really becomes like this sci-fi action thriller, and it becomes, like, really, really serious, right? Like, it still retains its gag elements, and I think by the time we get to Super, I think they really, really, from a manga perspective, I think they worked fairly hard to reposition humor and comedy as, like, at the forefront, right? But it became a really serious deal, like, right? And towards the end of Dragon Ball, things began to get, like, really serious, like the King Piccolo saga and shit like that. But even then, before Piccolo was an Namekian, which is like an alien, and I know. There's people, we're just losing people all over here because they don't give a fuck about this. But fuck that. That's why I saved it for the end, so I can talk about it. Before Piccolo was an alien, right? Like, what was he? Like a demon king, right? Like, Goku's a monkey god, Piccolo's a demon king. It's really this battle between good and evil, right? And forces in the universe. And I think that the elements of the original mythology that it's based on they're still there. Like you still see nods to them. You still see things that you can recognize and pick out in them. Right? But I think at first it was very like it was very tongue in cheek. It was not even something that like somebody was supposed to like dissect later and be like, oh, did you know that Dragon Ball was Journey to the West? Like no, they made no bones about it. Like motherfuckers say to the West, right? 7 times in the first like 2 or 3 chapters, right? Like as soon as Bulma and Goku like link up and like for real become friends, it's like okay, like well, where's the Dragon Ball? It's just like to the west. We have to go west. Like you know, man, it's like they have arrived west. They're like, all right, my nigga, I get it. You know what I'm saying? But I've been having a lot of fun. I've been having a lot of fun with my rereads. See, the thing is, I try to make time for my passions now. I really do because I don't. To be morbid, one day we won't be here anymore, right? Like life is. Somebody told me the other day, life is long, but life is short. And it sounds like, okay, nigga, like, you know what I mean? Like, makes some noise for you, I guess. Life is long, but life is short. Like Einstein over here, but it's so true. And you need to make time for the things that bring you joy. Like, you need to, especially if we're just talking about art, if we're just talking about enriching kind of that part of your brain and that part of your personality that enjoys things and that will allow yourself to enjoy things and will, you know, put their brain in states of stimulation, right? Because that's what I think like a lot of this art serves a purpose for, like reading, be it like novels, be it like historical nonfiction, be it manga, whatever it is, like even like, you know, going to a museum, looking at paintings, just consuming art, like poetry, it does things to satiate you. Right? I do think, I'm not like, listen, I'm not a scientist. I don't know if it unlocks some different part of your brain and whatever. I don't know if it makes you smarter, right? I don't know that. I'm not really into hypothesizing things like that. But I do think it enriches you, right? Like I do think it enhances the quality of your life if you're consuming things that make you feel good, that make you happy, barring that they're like some super problematic garbage, which far be it from me to tell you that anything you're consuming is super problematic garbage. Now when I'm consuming pornography at the fucking speed of light, have you lost your mind? But no, like this going back and deep diving is cool. It's cool, and I enjoy going back and seeing when Toriyama, who is the author and artist of the majority of the Dragon Ball story, when he decided to go from making a tribute to a Chinese legend to creating his own mythos, right? When Goku goes from a monkey god to literally like a monkey god with like the Japanese equivalent of the name of the monkey god, right? Like to a Saiyan named Kakarot, which is like derivative of carrots, right? But it's just like, I don't know. I'm a nerd. I can nerd out about some of this shit all day long, right? Like, I got figurines in my house that, like, explaining to women has been honestly a chore, right? But it is what it is. I think that might be all I got for y'all today, man. I gave y'all a solid 48-50. Was it a strong episode? I don't know. We're doing the best we can. For those of y'all on the PYO feed, I really appreciate y'all. This is the second week in a row that if you was expecting a PYO Boy episode, you're not gonna get one this week. And I really hope that you could bear with me, and I hope that maybe you appreciate the Fallen in the Forest content. Maybe that this is a podcast that you want to listen to as well. And then maybe that can be the positive that comes of this. As far as I know, you guys will get another PYO Boys next week. It will be happening. Will you get Assaulted Nets? Probably as well. I don't know if you'll get Assaulted Nets this week. I really honestly did plan to give you one, but life gets in the way and it's a holiday week. So I might just use this time to retool, recharge, refocus, and bring you guys the more focused vision and a more focused game plan in the near future. It's next week. Like, we're not going anywhere, but I do appreciate y'all. It means the world to me when y'all tune in. We gonna always show love and show respect, nigga. Faf. You understand? It is what it is. I appreciate y'all. We locked in.